sorry, please, let's just continue. So, I want to look at another graph here. You're seeing it. Thank you. On the graph, we have the plateau of latent potential. By the left, we are seeing results. Down the x-axis, I think, we have value of disappointment. Then, in between the graph, we have what you think should happen. Moving to what actually happens. And then on the x-axis, we have the time frame, the time that was given. Okay, figure 2. We often expect progress to be linear. At the very least, we hope it will come quickly. In reality, the results of our efforts are often delayed. It is not until months or years later that we realize the true value of the previous work we have done. This can result in a value of disappointment, where people feel discouraged after putting in their weeks or months of hard work without experiencing any results. However, this work has not wasted. However, this work was not wasted. It was simply being stored. It is not until much later that the full value of previous efforts is revealed. All the big things come from small beginnings. The seed of every habit is a single tiny decision. But as that decision is repeated, a habit sprouts and grows stronger. Roots stretch themselves and branches grow. The task of breaking a bad habit is like uprooting a powerful oak within us. And the task of building a good habit is like cultivating a delicate flower one day at a time. But that determines whether we stick with a habit long enough to survive the plateau of latent potential and break through to the other side. Did I see the other side? What is it that causes some people to slide into unwanted habits and enable others to enjoy the compounding effects of good habits? What? Now go to yes. Because for next year we have to do this. Forget about goals. Focus on system instead. Forget about goals. Focus on system instead. Prevailing wisdom claims that the best way to achieve what we want in life, getting into better shape, building a successful business, relaxing more and worrying less, spending more time with friends and family, is to set specific, actionable goals. Did you hear that? For many years, this was how I approached my habits too. Each one was a goal to be reached. I set goals for the grades I wanted to get in schools, for the weight I wanted to lift in the gym, for the profit I wanted to earn in business. I succeeded at a few, but I failed at a lot of them. Eventually, I began to realize that my results had very little to do with the goals I set, and nearly everything to do with the system I followed. Change your system. What's the difference between system and goals? Is a distinction I first learned from Scott Adams, the cartoonist behind the Delbert comic. Goals are about the results you want to achieve, while systems are about the process that led to those results. If you are a coach, your goal might be to win a championship. Your system is the way you recruit players, manage your assistant coaches, and conduct practice. If you're an entrepreneur, your goal might be to build a multi-million a If you're an entrepreneur, your goal might be to build a multi-dollar business. Your system is how you test product ideas, hire employees, and run marketing campaigns. If you're a musician, your goal might be to play a new piece. Then your system is how often you practice, how you break down and tackle difficult measures, and your method of receiving feedback from your instructors. Now, for the interesting question, if you completely ignore your goals and focus only on your system, would you still succeed? For example, if you were a baseball coach, if you were a basketball coach, pardon me, and you ignore your goal to win a championship and focus only on what your team does at practice each day, would you still get results? I think you would. The goal is any the goal in any sport is to finish with the best score. But it would be ridiculous to spend the whole game staring at the scoreboard. The only way to actually win is to get better each day. In the word of three-time Super Bowl winner Bill Walsh, the score takes care of itself. The game is true for other areas of life. If you want better results, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. I pledge to that. What I do mean by this, are goals completely useless? Of course not. Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. A handful of problems arise when you spend too much time thinking about your goals and not enough time designing your system. Let's look at problem number one. Winners and losers have the same goal. Did you hear that? Winners and losers have the same goal. But how did they get there? Let's see. Goal setting suffers from a serious case of sponsorship bias. We concentrate on people who end up winning, the survivors, and mistakenly assume that ambitious goals led to their success, while overlooking all of the people who had the same objective but didn't succeed. Every Olympian wants to win a gold medal. Every candidate wants to get the job. And if successful and unsuccessful people share the same goal, then the goal cannot be what differentiates the winner from the losers. It wasn't the goal of winning the Tour de France that propelled the British cyclists to top of the sport. Presumably, they had wanted to win the race every year before. Just like every other professional team, the goal had always been there. It was only when they implemented a system of continuous small improvement that they achieved a different outcome. Problem number two, achieving a goal is only a momentary change. Imagine you have a messy room and you set a goal to clean it. If you summon the energy to tidy up, then you will have a clean room for now. But if you maintain the same sloppy, pack rat habits that led to a messy room in the first place, soon you'll be looking at a new pile of cluster and hoping for another burst of motivation. You are left chasing the same outcome because you never changed the system behind it. Change that system. You treated a symptom without addressing the cause. Achieving a goal only changes your life for the moment. Yes, that's the counterintuitive thing about improvement. We think we need to change our results, but the results are not the problem. What we really need to change are the system that cause those results. When you solve problems at the result level, you only solve them temporarily. In order to improve for good, you need to solve problems at the system level. Fix the inputs and the outputs will fix themselves. Thank you.